What's up?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Agrifoods and Garden Show. We have Chef King in our demonstration area, which is located at the main entrance of the arena to begin a cooking demonstration. And this morning he will be cooking
Bengali curried eggs.
Bengali curried eggs. So please come up and join us in the demonstration area with Chef King, and he's starting his cooking demonstration in a few minutes.
Thank you. Oh, fired up. Yeah. I need no. I need a plate, a white plate from upstairs, or there's a bowl. Bring down two. There's two white bowls. Yeah, like they're dinner bowls, right? Like you soup bowls type thing, but they're decorative. Like they're nice ones, big, thick white ones. You can get two of them now for me. Okay. Check. Hello. 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 Check. Check. Morning check. 1 2 1 2. Awesome. Everyone hear me? Yeah? It's clear? Excellent. All right, we're going to get started. We're going to make Bengali curried eggs. It's a beautiful egg dish, and it's incredibly easy to make. It takes very little time, and it's packed with flavor. And I mean packed. And it's a beautiful dish for a number of reasons. Today, we're going to be making it with the Newfoundland eggs, which are fresh straight from the Newfoundland egg booth here in the backside of the arena. And you know, we're very, very pleased to have such fresh product available to us as we do this demo and then get a chance to sample to you guys after. So with this demo, we're going to serve this with rice, but this is a dish that can be served in the morning, it can be served in the afternoon, it can be served in the evening. It's just it's an egg dish that is packed with flavor, protein, and it's delicious for any side dish at any time of day. So what we're going to do with the rice is I'm going to show you guys a really quick, easy way to do rice, and it's called an absorption method. And we're going to fill that with flavor as well. So sometimes rice can be a bit boring, sometimes it gets a bit overcooked, and sometimes... So I'm going to show you some foolproof tricks to get rice going, and then we're going to get right into the eggs. We're going to serve all that and sample that out to you guys, okay? So to start, basically all I'm going to do is get my burners rolling here. And you want to make sure you got a pot, and you want to make sure you have a cover. Now, really, there's... Beautiful. Thank you. And all you want to do is get that hot. Now, I've got quite a bit of butter here, which I don't need so much. But what you want to do is you don't want to go too high on your heat. You just want to melt your butter, okay? So you don't want it to sizzle. You don't want it to brown. You want to keep a nice low heat. And you can all see this in the mirror, yes? A nice low heat just to let it melt, okay? And then what we've got is we've got some finely diced onion and garlic. And what that's going to do is it's going to cook with the butter, and it's going to add a little bit of fat and a little bit of flavor to the rice as it cooks. And because we're not going to cook it out with a heavy heat, we're just going to soften it. What's going to happen is all the flavors are going to really stay within that little butter and garlic and onion mixture, okay? So you don't need it to be sizzling hot or anything like that. Again, we just want to soften it. So we're not looking for a big sizzle like you would if a saute or something like that. We just want a Again, just to soften the garlic and the onion in that pot, all right? Now, when you're using basmati rice, it's incredibly important that you rinse it, okay? And what you want to do is just keep rinsing, all right, and keep rinsing, and keep moving your hands around in that rice, and you'll notice that it's cloudy. The water is cloudy, and that's the starch coming off that rice. And it's really important that you get that starch off the basmati rice before you cook it, okay? It's critical to the success of cooking this rice. Otherwise, it becomes glutinous and starchy, and it's just, it won't flake away nice, okay? So as that's just softening, imagine this rice. All right, if we can just maybe save the questions till maybe after, I'll be here, we can go through all the details, if that's okay. Wonderful. So you want to keep rinsing it until the water kind of runs clear, okay? Then you want to kind of just strain off your rice, and you're going to throw that right into this mixture, okay? So as you can see, they're just softened. I'd probably let them go a couple more minutes otherwise. I'm just going to throw my rice right in there like that. Give that a little stir, let the rice kind of, meld with the butter and the garlic and the onion. And then you can use water, chicken stock, really any kind of liquid that you want to put flavor in. I always like to use chicken stock when I do this method. All right, it's got your seasonings in there, it's got flavor, and you can use a vegetable stock or a chicken stock or any kind of stock you want. And what you want to do is, we don't have to be talking about measurements here. Everyone thinks rice is so particular with water and rice and your quantities and how do I not overcook it or undercook it or make sure my water rice ratio is correct. I'm going to show you a simple, easy way. It's going to eliminate all that thinking, okay? So basically all you do is you pour in liquid, and then you do the one knuckle test, okay? So all that rice is going to sit, and the liquid's going to sit on top of the rice. So I'm just going to put my finger in, and I want, as soon as the tip of my finger hits the rice, I want to see where the level of the water is. And right now, you can see that it's up to my first knuckle. Okay, I don't know if you can see the shine there. That means I got the perfect amount of liquid in that pot, all right? Now the next key to this is that you want to bring this to a boil, all right? Make sure that it's boiling rapidly, bubbling, okay? As soon as it does that, you want to turn the heat down to its minimum temperature, its minimum setting. So as low as your burner will go, cover it, set your timer for 20 minutes, and when 20 minutes is up, you'll have perfectly, beautifully cooked rice, okay? Now, I've got one done, which we're going to sample, and I'm just going to show you what the result of that is. And you can see this rice flake, separate, it's seasoned, it's all done in one pot, and it's beautiful. All right? Very easy, very simple, no measurements, no hassle, no fuss. Just in a pot, cover it liquid, use the right techniques, you'll get amazing results. And you'll all get to have a little taste of that rice along with this Bengali curried eggs. So now let's get on to the exciting part of the demo, which is the Bengali curried eggs. So we've kind of got our rice ready to go. This is a wonderful recipe that I picked up actually traveling through India up in they call it a Bengali dish, but in India sometimes it's very difficult to know exactly where things come from. Indian cuisine is an amazing, amazing cuisine. The way they cook is magical. They pack flavor into food in a way that no other cuisine that I've ever had is able to do. And sometimes you think with the spices, it's too much or it's too heavy or but one great thing about Indian cooking is that they all tend to balance themselves out. When you use the spice in the right way, you may think it's heavy, but it actually really, really works really well. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start with some canola oil, and I've got about a half a cup here. So we're just going to get that warm, and we're going to start with oil. And one thing about cooking with Indian style, you really want to cook the spices out. You don't want to put the spices in raw, all right? By putting spices in raw, you don't, you want to cook some of that flavor out and kind of bring those spice flavors together. So we got some hot oil. We're going to start with, very simple, we've got some chili powder, and just to be sure, we're going to start with 4 teaspoons of chili powder. We're going to put that right in there and just let that cook. And then turmeric. Turmeric is a very widely used spice in India, and sometimes we're a bit afraid of it here. No need to be. It's a beautiful, wonderful spice, and you'll get a chance to taste that now shortly. So we're just going to cook those spices out in that oil, and you can see the color already. It's just beautiful. It's got that nice golden yellow color. Now I don't want to burn my spice, which looks like I'm about to do here. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to throw our eggs right in there. All right, so I got some hard-boiled eggs here. Now to trick the hard-boiled eggs, there's a lot of people will say a lot of different ways of doing a hard-boiled egg. I'll tell you, I like things easy and simple. So for me, what I do, eggs into a cold water, I put it on the stove, I bring it to a full boil. As soon as it comes to a full boil, I turn the heat off, remove it from the heat, cover it, and set my timer for 7 minutes exactly. At 7 minutes, remove it from the water, run it over cold water to get the heat out of the eggs, and you'll have perfectly cooked hard-boiled eggs. If you like your eggs a little more cooked, go to 8 minutes. If you like your eggs a little less, go 6 minutes. But that's a standard for cooking hard-boiled eggs that works every single time. Absolutely foolproof, just like the rice. Okay, so simple, easy cooking. So what's happening now is all this oil and spice and turmeric and chili, all that's being infused into those hard-boiled eggs now. And, it's just kind of cooking away. And you can see the spice distribute on the eggs. I don't know if you can notice that. Looks beautiful, smells amazing, okay? Next, we got a little bit of green chilies. Got to have some heat. Again, it's not going to be too spicy. It'll be balanced out, but we need them. They're important to the dish. We're going to throw those in. We're going to throw in a bunch of slivered ginger. All right, so we got some nice ginger. We'll toss those in. All right. And we're going to let that cook for a little bit. And just spread those flavors around. Again, really quick, easy, beautiful, packed full of flavor dish. Now, we've got our eggs cooking. We've got our rice ready to go. Next, a little bit of red onion. Red onion is the only onion used in India. And I don't know if I've ever seen any other onion in India. Red onion is the way to go. Beautiful onion, works really well with these dishes. I've sliced this a little thick, but you can go thinner if you like. You can shave it on a mandolin if you want to do it really quickly. And then again, we're just going to throw those right in, all right? Easy breezy. Okay. Now we're going to let this cook down for about, until the onions soften. All right, that's what we're looking for. It's a little hard to control my heat here, so have a little patience with me. And it's Sunday. We've been here for a couple days, rocking it out, and sometimes the brain shuts off a little bit, So I'm doing my best here, but you can see already, really quickly, that the onions are starting to cook down a little bit. And it looks amazing, and it smells just, I don't know if you're catching any smells down there, but up here, heavenly. All right, next, I'm going to put in a little bit of seasoning, so I got a little bit of salt. All right, salt's going to draw some moisture out, let that onion cook down a little quicker, and a little bit of sugar. Sugar in Asian cooking is a fairly common ingredient. All right, it kind of brings everything together, a little bit of sweetness to offset against the heat. That's one thing about these dishes, they got every element of flavor. A little bit of heat, a little bit of spice, a little bit of savory. It's really great. So a little bit of sugar, put that in there like that. And again, just let it continue to kind of cook down and saute down. And now, time to add the liquid. So now what we want to do is kind of take all that flavor of spice and onion and ginger and our turmeric and all that's kind of cooking and sauteing out. And now we kind of want to make a big sauce. So what we're going to do is we got coconut milk. All right, it's just a can of coconut milk. And I'm going to break that up a little bit. Now, beware when you're buying coconut milk. There's some stuff out there that's just not very good. It's more coconut water than it is coconut milk. So what I would recommend to do is look for the stuff in the organic sections, because you really want this. Nice, big. And don't think that it's going to be really strong coconut, because it's not. All right, it's more cream and fat, and it allows those flavors to not be so overpowering, but balanced, okay? So all we're going to do is just throw that right in there like that. All right? And we're going to let that cook. And that's just going to make a beautiful sauce for us. You can just see it come together. Have I got that lined up to mirror properly? Yeah? So I mean the color and the smell and the flavors, they're all just kind of taking their time here now and melding together. And as you can see, I mean, it's incredibly easy. It's a one-pot dish. Really, the hardest part is hard-boiling the eggs. I mean, if you really want to look at it, I mean, that's the thing that takes the longest. And all we want to do now is bring this to temp and just let it bubble away for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. So while that's bubbling and cooking, what we're going to do is we're going to finish the dish with a little bit of garam masala. All right? And we want to maintain that flavor. It's a beautiful Indian spice that's made up of cardamom and cinnamon and cloves and just a wide array of very common, widely used spices. And garam masala literally translates to hot spice. Am I correct in saying that? Somewhat? I don't know if anybody speaks Hindi, but I believe that that's what it translates. So it's a really kind of blend of warm, beautiful spices is what it is, and lots of mixture. So we're gonna again let that bubble and cook. You want to make sure you get a little bubble. I don't have it going here right now. I'm trying to get these burners to that point, but you're going to start to see little bubbles forming. You're starting to see it here and there and there. And what you're going to do is just kind of let it bubble and let it kind of reduce, let some of that water kind of evaporate off it and let those flavors concentrate down, all right, and build into that dish. Because this is going to be served as a nice side dish, and then you've got your rice and then any other, side dishes or main platters that you want to have, okay? So you can see I got a nice little bubble going here. And we'll just let that kind of, do its thing for a couple minutes. While I'm doing that, again, I've got my finishing spice of my garam. And then I've got a little, semi-fresh cilantro, freshest I could find. All we'll do is just get some of that ready for our garnish. And when you're handling fresh herbs, you don't want to overcut them, you don't want to overwork them, and you definitely don't want to be aggressive with your knife. All right, make sure your knife is nice and sharp. Okay, you don't want a dull knife. If you dull them, the more you work with herbs, the more you handle them, the more you process them, the more flavor gets out before you actually put it into your dish. So we don't want to abuse them. We want to handle them gently, a little bit of love, a little bit of care, and let's keep all that flavor there. So when we add it in there, it's just right. So usually what I do is just kind of roll them loosely, all right, kind of get like a little ball going, just like that. And then really easily, I just nice, easy cuts, nothing too hard. I just want my knife just to kind of cut through it, and that's it, okay? So we're almost there. It's kind of bubbling away. It's reducing down. And I think we're almost ready. So what I'm going to do now is just add my final touch, my garam masala. It's my last bit of spice. We'll cook that up. And we got a plate. We get our rice out, we talked about earlier. Again, you can see that's flaked really, really well. And I brought down everything I needed, except for a spoon. Have no fear. It was the first thing I did this morning, because I knew that was going to happen. Not ideal, but just be patient with me and sampling, yeah. So we got our rice. You can see how beautiful it is. It's very light. It's not sticking together. It's not overly moist. It's still got a little bit of texture to it. All that nutty flavors in there, as well as the garlic, the onion, the butter, the salt, the pepper. Perfect. So our eggs are ready to go. So you can see this is kind of the finished dish. Incredibly easy, one-pot wonder, packed with flavor. So we'll just put a little bit into our bowl here. I mean, look at that. That is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And what we got is Bengali curried eggs. Delicious any time of the day. Easy to make, apart from the hard-boiled eggs. And a dish that is guaranteed to please. I don't know if everyone can see that. And there we are. Bengali curried eggs, basmati rice. Beautiful. I hope you guys enjoyed the demo. And anybody who wants to come and have a sample of this dish, come on over. We got recipes here for this. And yeah, just be patient with us as we kind of cut this up and get it in the cups for you. So it may give us a few minutes before I have time you actually get it, but just bear with us. We got this for samples, so I welcome you all to come up and have a taste. Come on up. Start putting out those 2-ounce cups, just like.
Assistant cook, I'm looking for a pay raise.